Hi guys, good evening. Good evening to each and every one of you. I trust everyone is doing well on this beautiful Thursday evening. Guys, of course I always start my videos by introducing myself. My name is Nicola Thompson. I hail all the way from Guyana, South America, and I now live here in Queens, New York. Guys, this message was resting on my spirit since I said my prayer today. Normally, I'm a late sleeper, so I get up, I go in my bed sometime after 3, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, because at the moment I'm not working, so I'm always researching or reading or writing, doing something, so I'm up late. And whenever I get up, I move around a little bit and I say my prayer. I think I said my prayer after 12 today. Like around 1 something. It doesn't matter whenever I say my prayer. And what I normally do is that when I pick up the Bible and I'm ready to read the Bible, I would normally say my prayers. I would greet God and I thank Him for the day and all of that good stuff and ask Him if I've said anything or done anything for the last 24 hours. Please forgive me, God. I would greet my ancestors, my spirit guides, greet angels, mother of the earth. I greet hierarchy, I greet those beings. I definitely greet them. I'm grateful for nature, grateful for the trees. I am that type of person. And I am grateful. I'm grateful for a roof over my head. I am thankful for life. A healthy body, a healthy mind. I am grateful. And when I normally finish saying all of that, I would say Psalm 91. It's very important that every prayer, be it morning, midday, evening, whenever I pray, I normally say Psalm 91. I inculcate or I input Psalm 91 in those prayers. Guys, I'm not perfect, but listen, every day I'm getting closer and closer to the Most High God. Now, normally when I pick up the Bible and I read it, I would just basically turn to a random page. And the random page that I turned to today, it says, David saves the city of Keilah. Keilah, I hope I'm saying it right. Keilah, Keilah. However, it was chapter 23. And I think I went all the way down to verse 10. And it took me to from 10 to around 18. Right? 10 around 18. But the message inside was, I'm going to put it in a synopsis. It was, Saul was sorting after David. He wanted to hurt David. He wanted to kill David. He wanted to get rid of David. However, David went into the wilderness and he was hiding from Saul. He was hiding away there for a long time from Saul. But this is a catch, guys. We need to pay attention sometime to the scripture. And listen, I am not perfect. And I never used to read the Bible every single day. And I don't know every scripture in the Bible. No, I don't. But a few scriptures, when I do read them, it sticks to me. And I make sense out of it. Right, guys? And so Saul is after David. Because David is a child of the Most High God. God favors David. Right? Because the way in which David lived, David's life, his purpose, why David was on earth, the things that David do is God-like. So God favored David. Saul did not like that. Okay? So he wanted to get rid of David. But Saul's son Jonathan realized what his father wanted to do to David. And he was not in agreement with it. His own son saw the barbaric, the evil inside his own father. And he was one of those sons that said, Dad, what you're doing is wrong. When we have people around us like that to say, Dad, Mom, my sister, my friend, my cousin, my son, my daughter, what you're doing is wrong. Not encourage them, not support the wrong cause that they're doing, you know, not financing it, what they're doing, but saying to them that it is wrong. So Saul's son recognized what his father wanted to do to David, and David was a man of God. David was the man with the little sword that killed Goliath. I know all the fancy scriptures in the Bible to tell you verse for verse, but I could find it. But he was the man that killed Goliath. God loved David for who he was. The things that was done to David, David stood strong. But his son, Saul's son, Jonathan, realized what his father was trying to do. And guess what he did? He went into the wilderness where David was hiding, and he found him. Let me see if I could read it word for word. And this is partly what he said. And he said to him, this is what Jonathan said to, then Jonathan, Saul's son, arose and went to David in the woods and strengthened his hand in God. And he said to him, do not fear, for the hand of Saul my father shall not find you. He shall not find you. You shall be king over Israel, and I shall be next to you. Even my father Saul knows that. That's why Saul wanted to get rid of David. He feared David. He feared everything about David. David wasn't anything materialistic in comparison to him. But he feared little David. He said, even my father knows that. So the two of them made a covenant before the Lord. They made a covenant before the Lord. And David stayed in the woods, and Jonathan went to his own house. No. When your own could see what you're doing and tell you, Dad or Mom or yes, my sister, my brother, my husband, my wife, my good friend, my neighbor, what you're doing is wrong. And they could tell you it. And you don't want to change because you're in your ego. You're big, mighty, and powerful. And you're unstoppable. You know? And his own son went to David and signed and stood in a covenant with him, with the Lord, against his own father. It tells you that when we think sometimes people are not looking, and the children are not looking, or onlookers or people are not, they are. But they're not saying anything immediately. But there come a time when they will act. There come a time when they will speak. Because injustices cannot go on and will not be going on for too long. There come a time when those things must stop. And God will put people strategically, people with integrity, to put stop to those things. So all these hate, and the envy, and the jealousy that people have been pushing towards each other for no reason. Because I just don't like him. Because I just don't like her. I want her to be off the earth. This is what people are doing these days. I don't like her. She's too much. I don't like him. He's too much. Or she's less than me. She's nothing. Who is that? That is the type. And people, and God humble people with those mentality. He does. He really does. He bring them down. Because they tell themselves they have it all. And they could treat anyone anyhow. Because they know the masses, they know everyone. But God got a way that he strategically put people in place. Stay woke, guys. Stay focused. God got us. He does.